Okay, good afternoon, class. So today's session, as Sir has actually mentioned, we will look into how data science is applied in industry and how a problem looks like, so that you can understand the things that you are studying, how you can apply it in real world. Okay, so let me share my screen, and as well as I have a slideshow prepared, we can go through it accordingly. All right. So yes, let us see. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. If someone cannot, just let me know. Okay. So we will see how a business problem is actually, uh, detected or identified from there till how do you deploy a model. So Banerjee, I'm a senior data scientist currently working with Digitized Solutions Limited. So in today's domain, I will be talking a bit about myself, and then we will move directly to the session. So largely, I have been working for 7.5 years right now. I have worked in several domains where it is largely into finance, retail and supply chain, pharma, and marketing analytics. These are the particular domains where we have worked. So why am I focusing on the domains? I will come to that little later. And also currently, I'm a part-time mentor and a teacher at BITS Pilani Digital over there. I'm working over there as a guest faculty. So now we are going to cover these as the particular agenda for today, where we will see at a very high level what is data science and how does a project life cycle of data science looks like. And then we will take up two case studies, which is credit risk and market targeting model. And then we will see certain tools and real world challenges and what can be your career towards any of these. Okay. So I will keep it at a very fundamental level. So do not think like I'm going to use very technical terms or buzzwords over there here. So we will just try and understand what we are studying, why we are studying it, and where can we go ahead and apply it. Okay, so to study data science, these are the three important things that will be required. First is statistics and mathematics. Second is programming. And in between both of these seats, the important thing, which is called domain knowledge. Now, what does domain knowledge mean over here? See, when I started the session, at that time I mentioned that I have worked in pharmaceutical, in marketing analytics, in retail and supply chain, right? This kind of domain. So the way you solve a problem in one particular domain is not similar to the other domain. Say, for example, demand of a medicine won't be equal to, say, demand of any apparel or cloth you're wearing, right? So both demand will be different because the requirement is different from the customer. And as a result, the way you are going to solve that problem, say demand forecasting in itself is a problem, right? Demand forecasting means how many quantities of a product will get sold. That is what by modeling we are trying to predict. Now, why do we predict that? So that the stores can have that many quantities of products already available. If not, then people will get inside the store and they will walk out because there is out of stock. So people don't want that. If there are out of stock of products available in a store, that means the particular store is actually incurring losses because there is loss of sales, right? So imagine medicines, you're buying medicines, that particular demand of a medicine won't be similar to the clothes demand. The way seasonality, like during Diwali, you have a tendency of buying more clothes for any festival, that is not getting impacted by certain. If I'm talking about medicines, the demand of a particular medicine doesn't get impacted with certain seasonalities as such, unless and until some kind of epidemic or pandemic like COVID-19 happens, right? That is like a very, very rare scenario that happens. So if you think about um, creating a demand forecasting, say for next 1 week or 1 month, at that time, such kind of seasonalities will impact more on apparels than on medicines. So that is why, although in both the cases we are solving demand forecasting problem, the way of approaching that problem or considering the raw features will be totally different. So this is why domain knowledge plays a huge part. Then when we are considering about apparels, at that time auditing or governance won't play a huge role. as compared to, say, finance or, say, pharmaceutical, right? Because medicines, if medicines are not audited, a lot of things can go haywire, right? So that's why auditing plays and governance plays a very important role in finance and pharmaceutical if compared with, say, apparel selling brands or things like that. So such kind of knowledge is equally important when you are working in any particular domain. Now, whatever I am communicating with you, you are being able to understand or comprehend it. So that is also equally a very important task when we are talking about data science. So 50% of the job actually sits over there, where you will be saying things in a very simpler way that the non-tech people who are generally the company executives, they can understand it very smoothly. And accordingly, they can take the decision of the company, because he is not sitting there to understand certain technical terms. It is your job to do that, and it is your job to convey it in a very simple way which he can comprehend. So keep that in mind. And very important, lastly, data is always more than algorithm. If you get a wrong output or very bizarre output where the prediction doesn't look good to you, like there has been overfitting or underfitting kind of things, that the model is not fitting well, okay? Do not doubt the algorithm, because after all, you are not sitting back and writing the algorithm, you are importing the algorithm. What you are doing is largely you are using the data, and on that data you are using the algorithm. So what can be the main cause of that wrong prediction? The first thing that should click in your mind is, I should go and recheck the data on which the algorithm is working. So if the data is dirty, then everything, you will always get a dirty result over here. Okay. So this is how understanding data science behind the buzzword that we get to hear on everyday life.